Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to the Elite Dangerous Horizons beta server. Now, what we are going to be having a look at now is this little beauty, the Cobra Mark IV. Or what I like to call it, the bastard child of a Viper and a Cobra Mark III. Because that's what it looks like to me. And a little bit of ASP as well. Let's just throw that in for good measure. Now, this is a very interesting looking ship. It does look like a real big upgrade on the standard. I like the little fin wings as well. It does make me think of an Asp Explorer just a little bit. And I do like how it's got some kind of weird covery little thing like flows over the back of the ship. What that is supposed to do, I don't know. Perhaps it makes it more aerodynamic whilst it's in atmosphere flight. But not sure. But it does look fairly interesting. I do really like the two little kind of the prongs coming out of the front of the ship where the headlights are mounted. That's what makes me think of a Viper. Well, that's enough of having a look at the outside of the ship. Let's go and have a look inside and see what the inner cockpit looks like. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit. I'm looking around with my head tracker this time. And looking around, the cockpit looks very, very similar. But it looks like it has had a palette change. It looks a lot darker with everything pretty much being black and grey. So it does look really good, and everything's flashing up at the moment. So there's the co-pilot seat as usual. I can't really look down anymore. Instead of having a blue keyboard, we've got a white keyboard. It's really kind of interesting. It's still got a good view out the windshield, so that's not bad at all. I say windshield, it's the canopy. So let's go and have a look at the stats of the ship in the shipyard. Okay, so here we are. We have the Cobra Mark IV. Top speed, 200 meters per second. Boost speed, 299 meters per second. Doesn't really feel like all that much. So if we go back, we can see that we're actually losing 82 meters per second over the standard Cobra. And it looks like only about 3 meters per second on the boost speed as standard. Maneuverability, we are taking another hit as well, because we are only 4 out of 10 rather than 6 out of 10. So that's another basically another blow to this ship. Frameshift drive unladen range, 9.37. We're going to ignore the laden range. That's not really relevant at this point. So 9.37 light years. That's again down over the standard. So, what is better about this ship? Well, what we can see is, off the bat, the shields are much better. We get 125 megajoules of shields, as opposed to the standard 92 megajoules. So, we do have a good substantial buff on this. The armour of the hull seems to be the same. Yep. And the hull mass, 210 as opposed to 180. So, it's a heavier ship. There's no point looking at the cargo capacity because that's all. There's no point in looking at that. Well, let's go and have a look at the hard points. We have 2 utility mounts, which is the same as the Cobra Mark III. We've also got the 2 medium hard points, the same as the Cobra Mark III. But this time we do have 3 small hard points. So that's 1 extra on the small hard points. So that's not bad at all. Now, onto the internals, we've got basically 4 Class 4 internals, and that is really nice because that's actually 1 more Class 4 internal slot than you have on the Cobra Mark III. Not only that, but we have 2 size 3 internals. So those are bigger, well, basically in the middle of the 2 different sizes that you had in the Cobra Mark III. And this is really nice in my eyes because this allows us to add limpet controllers that can control 2 limpets apiece, which makes mining better, piracy better in this ship. So with that, basically you can add them without having to take up a class 4 slot, because all drone controllers are in odd numbered sizes. So the Cobra Mark III only had even numbers, so that just really didn't gel very well. And then we've also got the two class 2 internals as well, so that's a lot of internal space. So let's go and have a look into the outfitting department, and let's have a look at the specifics of the ship. Now let's go and have a look at the internals. The power plant is the same as before. It is a class 4 internal power plant. So if we do want to go and fit the best one in there, that's going to be 1.61 million. Now I know it says 161,000 here, but bear in mind the prices on the beta server are only 1/10 of the cost on the live servers. So just shift the decimal point across one and you'll get the full proper price on the live servers. I say this so many times and yet I still get comments telling me that I'm reading the prices wrong. No, I'm not. And with that best power plant, you'll be getting a 15.6 megawatt output. Let's go back. Thrusters, E4 again. So that's going to be the same, 1.61. Frame shift drive, that's going to be the same as well. And that will give us a 20 light year jump range. Just as standard, just upgrading the frame shift drive. Which is really not as good in comparison to the Cobra Mark III. Because the Cobra Mark III can get upwards to, it can get over 25 light years. Which makes it a fairly good exploration ship. I think this ship could be an explorer, but it will be a little bit more hampered. Life support, let's go and have a look. Yeah, that's going to be 158,000 credits for the maxed out. Power distributor, we're still on a class 3 power distributor. So we've been given an extra small hardpoint, yet we haven't been given a larger power distributor. So it's nice having the extra firepower, but we're not going to be able to do too much more with it, just because we haven't. They haven't been given us a more efficient way of feeding the weapons. Sensors, let's have a look. 158,000 again. Forget to check the power distributor. Yeah, 158. No big surprises there. Fuel tank, we're still on a 16-ton fuel tank. It would have been nice to have a slightly larger fuel tank, but this is still a small ship, so it's probably not likely that we would have been able to have anything else bigger fit inside. Class 4 shield generator as standard. So let's go and have a look. How much would the Class A4 shield generator cost us? And that would be 1.61 million again. So let's go back. And as you can see, we have got 4 Class 4 internals here. So that's going to allow a lot of cargo. So here we are, just fully decked out with cargo racks. We can actually get this ship up to 88 tons of cargo, which is really not bad at all. It almost gives the ASP a good run for its money. Well, we put everything back to how it was, and on top of the 4 Class 4 internals, we've got 2 Class 3 and 2 Class 2. So that gives us a lot of flexibility in this ship. I do think this ship's going to be a very nice pirate ship. I think, in a way, it's going to be better than the Cobra Mark III. It's not going to be quite as good as the Asp or the Python, perhaps. 2 ships which I didn't really give much consideration to in my piracy tutorial, but that's only because I completely forgot about them at the time. But this is going to be a very nice ship. It's going to be great for mining. It's going to be great for piracy. It's going to be great for smuggling, great for lower level trading. It's just a generally fairly nice ship. The main downside is its slightly lackluster stats, as in its speed and its manoeuvrability. But we'll have a look at those a little bit later. Right now, let's go and have a look over into the hardpoints. As you can see, we've got 2 medium hardpoints. So what I'm going to go and do is I am going to go and fit these out with the medium multi-cannons. Well, that's the 2 medium multi-cannons fitted. Now, we've got to go and have a look at the 3 small hardpoints. Now, if you remember, the two small hardpoints on the Cobra Mark III were mounted on the underside of the ship on the two far extremes of the hull. So there was a great distance in between them. Now, has that improved on the Cobra Mark IV? Let's go and have a look. So yes, they are mounted very close together. They're actually roughly the same distance, if not closer together, than the two medium hardpoints. So that's really nice. Now, where is the third? Taking guesses? It's right in the center. Now, this is a very, very interesting little hardpoint, if only for how it actually animates. So let's go and find ourselves a gimbaled pulse laser, just because, you know, this is what I always fit. So let's go and fit that in there. I'll watch it fold back, slide in, and there we go, it pops out there. That is a very nice little hardpoint slot. I think that would look really interesting, having a missile pod coming out. Especially since missile's been buffed in this build of the game. But we're going to have a look at that in a little while, in another video. So what I'm going to go and do now is I am going to go and fit the rest of these weapons up. And then we're going to go and have a look at how well this ship does in a little bit of combat. Okay, so let's go and get on our way. One of you guys did say that you wanted to see my see in these videos me actually launching, so let's go and do that because it did get a few thumbs up. There we go, powers into engines.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
So let's get outside for our speed and maneuverability testing. Okay, so here we are outside the station. We're going to go and do our acceleration, deceleration and maneuverability testing. So first of all, what we're going to do is see how fast this ship accelerates from a standing start. Well, that's not bad at all, and we do get up to our top speed fairly quickly. Right, let's slow down and see how well that goes. Right, not bad at all, and the engines do sound somewhat different, at least to me. Alrighty, well let's see how well we do at a boost start. Right, we got nearly up to our top speed, so let's boost again as soon as we can. There we go, we got 1 meter per second off our maximum boost speed. So that's not very bad, that's not bad at all for being completely and utterly stock. Okay, so we've now slowed down to the sweet spot, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and see how well this ship actually pitches. So let's go. Yep, it definitely feels a little bit slower than the normal, than the Cobra Mark III. So yeah, it's really not as maneuverable, it doesn't feel at the moment. But we'll find out as soon as we get into some combat. So let's see how well it does in a boost turn. Yep, it really doesn't do well at all. So you're not going to be wanting to boost while turning this anyway. A lot of people say you shouldn't boost and turn it at all, but it works sometimes. But anyway, let's go and see how well this thing fares in some combat. So we have found our first target. It is a wanted federal dropship. So let's go and put our power into weapons and see how easily this goes. So it does seem that we have to pitch a good way down in order to actually get our top weapon ports on the target. So we can't do what we used to do in the Cobra Mark III. We've literally got to start thinking the complete opposite.
Target shields offline.
Now, one concession I have made here is I have put in a chaff launcher. Just because, through previous experience, I found that not running one in a stock ship in these HAS-resis is really not a good idea. So, here we go.
Under attack.
Yes, thanks for the information. Right, let's try and get a bit closer to him.
Target shields online.
Yep, the maneuverability changes. Well, the lower maneuverability on this is really telling.
Hull integrity compromised.
Yep, my shields are now down. And it does not surprising considering I've been forgetting to use my chaff as well.
Target shields offline.
So let's at least put some power into shields so we can recharge them. And we'll put some chaff out as well. But the shields are being drained very quickly. Well, at least the system capacitor.
Target shields online. Shields online.
Well, that's our shields back up. So we can start launching chaff again. So let's try and get our shields back up, allow our weapons to recharge, and not let this guy ram us. Because we know that's what he's going for, don't we? Yeah, we do drain our capacitor very quickly when firing all weapons when stock. So that is very interesting. Let's launch some more chaff. Ah, come on. And let's get on back after him. Oh, I've just realised I'd forgotten to put power into the systems again. So that could have been really bad. So again, let's try and get those shields down. Our chaff is still reloading and he's going through the RAM.
Target shields offline.
And it does appear that our canopy is still made out of tin foil.
50%.
There we go, we have got him. There we go.
Target destroyed.
Okay, we have our next target. We have a wanted Asp Explorer. So, let's put power back into weapons and go and see how well this goes. Yeah, that's not going as well as I'd like it to have done, but oh well. But as you can see, we are draining our capacitor just firing these. So the capacitor does... There we go. We're now basically out of capacitor.
Target shields offline.
But it doesn't matter. It was nearly enough to get this guy's shields down. He is a dangerous Asp Explorer. So let's open up with the multi-cannons. Thankfully, he is being distracted elsewhere, so his main focus is not on us. So we can quite happily just come up behind him. And with one pip into engines, we are able to keep up with him fairly well. Right, let's try and get completely behind him. That didn't work as well as I'd liked it to have done. But now he is actually looking straight at us.
Target shields online.
So let's get those shields back down. We don't want them up. But yeah, any type of pitching up is not the best of ideas. Because if we pitch up, we're not able to get our gimbaled top mount weapons. Basically, our small hard points on him. But he's pretty much nearly down. And thankfully, because he's been paying attention elsewhere, we've been able to get away with this pretty much scot-free. So this should be the last bit of ammunition we need, and there he goes. Okay, so we now have a wanted Imperial Eagle. Again, he's got his attention elsewhere, but it's quite possible that he's going to start looking at us very soon. But there go his shields. Then again, it is only a wanted Imperial Eagle. It didn't last very long, but this is something a little bit more challenging. We have a wanted Clipper, although again it is being having its attention drawn elsewhere, and it is pretty much already half dead. So let's get over there and see if we can make some make some difference in this fight. So we're pretty much up on him. Oh, it's Leonidas. But he is a lot more manoeuvrable than we are in stock right now. But even so, we are just sitting on his tail. So this really isn't that much of a challenge, although he is kind of starting to look at us a bit more angrily right now.
Target shields online.
So again, we're firing on him with our lasers. And we empty our weapons capacity before we take his shields down. So there we go. Well, it's not bad at taking down the hull either. Oh, the lasers. No, 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 don't ram me, don't ram me.
Target destroyed.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much enough for the combat at the moment. Let's go and see how well this thing goes and docks. Okay, so we've been given pad 44 and we're coming in full speed, which is probably not a good idea when we have a bunch of ships flying around like psychopaths. So let's keep to our side, and there is our pad. So let's come in, drop the landing gear. And come and set this little baby down. It does drift a little bit.
Engines disengaged.
Okay, so that really wasn't hard at all, but then again I was coming in fairly slowly. That would be a bit more difficult if I came in screaming at full speed. Now, I imagine the question on most of your lips at the moment is not as what it usually would be, which is what do I think about this ship, but right now it's going to be how well does this ship land on a moon? Well, let's go and find out, because that is the point of the Horizon season of updates, so let's go and find that out. Okay, so we are now on approach to one of the planetoids in the system. So let's go and line ourselves up. There we go, we're getting down fairly quickly so that we're getting very close to orbital cruise.
Orbital flight engaged.
There we go, we have now hit orbital cruise. If we were to go up, we're now going around the planet as fast as we possibly can. But let's go down because we want to land. So let's drop down and get into glide mode. We don't want to go down too fast. There we go, drop from orbital cruise into glide mode. Let's bring the nose up a little bit more. Glide is now complete, so let's get ourselves to ground level. Now, I didn't notice it before, or well, I did notice it, but I didn't mention it, is what I meant to say, is that the boost on this ship seems to have a bit of a bark to it. Just listen. So it definitely does have a bit more of a throaty boost than its Mark III counterpart. So let's drop the landing gear. Come down. Oh, that was a little bit faster than I intended. Alignment is fine, so there we go. And there we are. We are now docked on the planet. It is fairly easy to go and dock this, well, land this on a planetoid, but then again I did come in a little bit faster than I expected to do. But now what I imagine your question on everybody's lips would be, what do I think of this ship? So let's get outside and find out. Okay, so what do I think about the Cobra Mark IV? Well, I think it's pretty much been abundantly clear at the moment that I think this ship is, in a way, it's a little bit underwhelming when it comes to its hard stats, like its speed, like its boost, like its top boost speed, and its maneuverability. Those things, I think, are a little bit lackluster. But what it's losing out in these stats, it more than makes up for with its hardpoint placement and internals. This ship has an absolute insane amount of internal space for a ship its size. I think pretty much that it has the highest amount of cargo possible for a small ship at the moment, which is no small feat at all. It's also got extremely nice hardpoint placement. It's going to be very, very good for fixed weapons, but we're going to go into that a little bit more in the A-rated version of this ship review. So overall, at the moment, I think this is a very interesting ship. There's a lot of trade-offs, but there's also a lot of benefits for those trade-offs. But anyway, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If so, please don't hesitate hitting those like and subscribe buttons, because they really do help my channel out. And anyway guys, I've been Commander Chaos Wolf, you've been epic, I will see you next time, and until then, keep flying and stay shiny.